Welcome to the next video in our series, Worldview 101. We're going to be talking about the question, what are human beings? Now, you may think this is a very silly question. You might be like, look, I look in the mirror, there's a human being, done. I know what a human being is. But I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. If I were to show you this ring, you wouldn't just associate it with metal and a diamond. You would look at it and know that it has a meaning. It has a story. It means that I am married. In every religion and worldview, there is a story about what people mean, what we're here for. Every religion and worldview has a story about who people are, why we are here, what we mean. Perhaps we are highly evolved naked monkeys with meat computers for brains. Or maybe we're here to be servants to the demands of the god. Or perhaps every person is a reincarnated soul. Or perhaps we are creatures with body, soul, and spirit made in the image of God. Now, the way that you answer this question matters more than you might think. Let me demonstrate. If we really are just physical beings, as atheists believe, then we are just evolved monkeys. We have no soul and no spirit. When we die, that's the end of us. And if you want to be completely consistent with that way of thinking, really, we don't have any free will. We don't have a will. We just have a brain that has chemical reactions that happen in accordance with what's happening in our world around us. So if I were to slap you in the face, in a sense, my brain made me do it. It's the chemical reactions in my brain acting based on what is happening in the world around me. Okay, let's look at a totally different conception of human beings from a Hindu perspective. In this worldview, every person is reincarnated based on how good or bad they were in their past life. That means that every rich person is good and deserves to be wealthy with no concern for the poor, because they are only poor because they were bad in their past life. Within this worldview, if your friend broke their arm or they were poor, you could just respond by laughing at them and hanging out with your rich friends, because probably your rich friends were good people and the person who was poor was a bad person. Do you see how our answer to this question of what is a human being really matters? In a Christian worldview, human beings are made by God. Genesis 1 verse 26 says, "Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." We are made in the image of God, of infinite value. Every person is of equal value, regardless of their abilities, their strength, their wealth, or their status. We are creative, intellectual, relational beings because we are made in the image of a God who is all of those things. And we can have an impact on the world and on history through the way we act. We were given a mandate by God to rule the earth. We are also body, soul, and spirit, which means that when we die, there's part of us that's eternal and that will live on. We are loved by a God who made us for relationship with himself. Bad things can happen to good people and to bad people. It's not karma. It's just the result of living in a broken world. Within a Christian worldview, human beings are also fallen. We sin because we are corrupted inside. Corrupted people make corrupted societies, which make more corrupted people. Sin is a personal problem, not just a society one. However, Jesus became incarnate. He became a human and he dignified human flesh by living and breathing and walking in a body like the one we have. In him, in his life, death, and resurrection, human beings can be restored and shaped back into the image of what being a human truly is. So, who are you? Are you a glorified naked ape with a meat computer for a brain? Or are you made in the divine image of God? And what are you going to do about it?